What if I told you that Darwin's theory of sexual selection wasn't just about peacocks and beetles, but also ignited one of the earliest ideological battles between biology and feminism? In The Origin of Species, Darwin barely mentioned sexual selection, but 12 years later, he dropped a bombshell: the descent of man, and selection in relation to sex. This wasn't just about humans. It was a sweeping study of mating, beauty, and desire across the animal kingdom. And at the center of it all, a shocking claim for the time is that female animals choose. Because females produce costly eggs, and often care for the young, they tend to be choosy. Males, on the other hand, evolve flamboyant traits, feathers, horns, songs, to impress them. Peacocks' tails, bowerbird architecture, stock-eyed flies, bullfrog choruses. These are not for survival. They're for seduction. Sexual selection isn't just about fighting rivals. It's about attracting mates, and sometimes being beautiful is deadlier than being strong. Darwin didn't stop with animals. He applied the theory to humans too. He argued that different human groups developed distinct standards of beauty. Generations of aesthetic preference, he believed, helped shape ethnic differences, like skin tone, facial features, even body hair. He even gave parental advice: choose a partner not just for looks, but for intelligence and moral character. Because, he warned, your mate choice could influence the future of your lineage and society. Darwin described insects, marriage flights, birds, marriage dances, and mammals, marriage bonds. He wasn't being romantic. He was drawing a parallel between animals and human courtship and animal mating, he argued, exist on a continuum. That was radical in a time when humans were thought to be morally and spiritually separate from animals. Darwin insisted otherwise. To him, love and courtship weren't divine inventions, they were evolved behaviors. He even claimed that music likely began as a mating display. That before we had words, we had rhythm. That our ancestors may have sung their desire before they ever spoke it. And modern studies show that in many species, it's the males who are the virtuosos. Think of high pitch of frogs, or even whales, singing their hearts out for attention. This is where things got political. Some early feminists embraced Darwin's theory, and others tore it apart. Eliza Gamble argued women were morally and intellectually superior, because they had been the choosers for generations. Antoinette Blackwell, on the other hand, admired Darwin's theory but called him out. She asked, if males evolved through sexual selection, didn't females evolve too? The idea that female choice shaped human evolution was not just revolutionary, it was threatening. The theory was twisted into debates about marriage, gender roles, and sexual morality. Biologists even began to dismiss the idea of female choice, especially in animals. Some claimed it was speculative, or even unscientific. Ironically, it was easier for society to believe we descended from apes than to accept that female desire could shape evolution. Scientists focused on genes, mutations, and survival and ignored Darwin's flamboyant detour into beauty and attraction. For decades, sexual selection languished. Even Darwin's co-theorist, Alfred Russel Wallace, rejected female choice. He didn't believe females had the cognitive ability to be choosy. He thought male ornaments were signs of vitality, not seduction. But Darwin's monkey wasn't done causing trouble. In the 1970s, evolutionary biology got a second wind. And this time, sexual selection came roaring back. Robert Trivers introduced parental investment theory, explaining why choosy females and competitive males made evolutionary sense. Malta Anderson proved that female widow birds prefer males with longer tails, even when artificially extended. Sexual selection wasn't just real. It was everywhere. Today, we know that female choice is a powerful force in evolution. It shapes the colors of birds, fishes, the songs of frogs, the swagger of chimpanzees, and yes, even our own behaviors. Sexual selection is no longer fringe science. It's a core part of how we understand life. From sperm competition to aesthetic evolution, Darwin's second theory has found new life. And what we saw in it said more about us than the animals Darwin described. Sexual selection still sings, if we're willing to listen. For more about evolution and the science of attraction, subscribe and check out the playlist.